You are the opposite of Charlie Kirk politically in a different reality. We'd be watching Charlie Kirk cover your death. Both sides are wrong, and people need to come together. No side is morally above the other. This does nothing to make us weaker as a country. Dog, my worldview does not revolve around consistently claiming that an ethnic group or any sort of inalienable characteristic or trait means that someone is inferior. Okay? There is no both sides on this. This is fucking delusional.
Someone just got shot on stage. A tragedy. A family shattered. What does a normal person do? Shock, sadness, maybe even silence. What does Hasan do? He puts himself in the spotlight again. The man who died isn't the center anymore. It's Hasan. Every big event, same story. My worldview, my perspective, I was right all along. That's not empathy. That's PR. That's turning grief into self-promotion. And the worst part? His chat claps for it. Because to them, Hasan isn't just a streamer. He's their mirror. Whatever he says, they believe. And that's how you end up with an audience that normalizes violence like it's just background noise.
He has played a formative role in his own demise by playing a part in a media landscape, in a media environment that normalizes this death and destruction.
Classic Hasan move. I'm against violence, but we've heard that for years. On paper, he rejects it. In reality, he cozies up to groups that glorify it. His fans eat it up every single day. This is the trick. He says, I'm against violence for the optics, but the wink he gives is clear. You're actually right. That's how the message spreads. Young viewers hear it as, don't say it out loud, but it's okay if it's justified. That's not just a thought, that's a virus, and Hasan is the carrier.
If you consider yourself a gun control activist and you find yourself cheering on the assassination of Charlie Kirk, then you are the problem. Being a principled activist means staying true to the whole point of the cause. The point is to reduce gun violence. Everybody has a right to not be shot when they go outside. Even the people who advocate for more guns. Because the principle is what's important. We're protecting everybody or we're protecting nobody. We don't get to make distinctions about who is a valid target for being shot if you actually believe in gun control and lowering gun violence. If you're gleeful in the face of what happened, not only are you a sick, demented human being, but I want you to know that I despise you, and I hope you will never watch my videos ever again.
Two reactions to the same tragedy. Ethan's eyes fill with tears. His voice cracks, because even if it's a political rival, someone died. Now look at Hasan. First 10 seconds, he plays normal. Shock, disgust. But then, right back to scoring points. The difference is obvious. Ethan reacts like a human. Hasan reacts like an actor. He's not grieving. He's calculating how he looks on stream. Theater, nothing more.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott, okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott, you wouldn't make him the current, what is his current office? What is he? He's the Richard Lynn Scott, is an American attorney, businessman, politician, Navy veteran, serving as the senior United States Senator from Florida, a seat he has held since 2019.
It's hurt poor people that they can afford housing in Berkeley. I don't know how that works.
My understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
I'm sick and tired of it. Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the fuck is this shit, man? Slice them up, slice them and fucking dice them. What the fuck is this?
Hasan's game hasn't changed in years. Call for violence openly, then cover it up with just kidding. Kill Rick Scott. Fill the streets with capitalist blood. Since when are those punchlines? And tell me this, why are his jokes always about blood, death, execution? Jokes repeated 100 times stop being jokes. They become part of the culture. On Twitch, it's fake laughs and emotes. In the real world, radicalized kids who take it seriously. Hasan gets to shrug and say, relax, I was joking. No, it's not a joke. It's a pattern.
Talking about Charlie Kirk, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, bro. But no, I don't generally do politics. Most of the time I watch TikToks. If you look at my last few videos, rest in piss. I think that's, I don't like that. I'm not as ghoulish as other people. I see a lot of very ghoulish people online. People celebrate the death of other people so casually. And not just in this Charlie Kirk incident. I think I see a lot of people do it about the lives of like Palestinians. I see a lot of people do it about the lives of like politicians. And there's just such a callousness to life that I find so gross. Ultimately, you know, unless we're talking about like a fucking murderer, you know, someone who's truly taken the lives of other people directly, I just think it's shit. I think it's a shit thing to do. What if it leads to murders with words? Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on your point of view, that is like the price of freedom of speech, and I'm for it. Do I think he had good speech? No, but that is what freedom of speech is. So I don't know if I agree with that sentiment.
Hasan's poison spreads beyond his own chat. Look at Ulwig. He tries to say celebrating death is wrong. Sounds normal, right? But Palestine, but this, but that. Why? Because he knows one wrong sentence and Hasan's mob eats him alive. This is what's terrifying. Not just Hasan's crowd, but other streamers too. They're afraid to even say respect human life without hiding it behind excuses. That's not free speech. That's spinelessness. And it's contagious.
And I talked to her and she said, "Mommy, I missed you." I said, "I miss you too, baby." She goes, "Where's Daddy?" What do you tell a 3-year-old? She's 3. I said, "Baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget."
A 3-year-old girl asks, "Where's Daddy?" And her mom has to choke back tears and say, "He's with Jesus." This is reality. A wife without a husband, a child without a father. That's not debatable. That's not ironic. That's tragedy. Anyone who watches this moment and still starts their sentence with "but" lost the right to call themselves human.
I think he's like trying to like design like a reasonable liberal position for himself, where he just like actively says like the real evil in this country is not the Trump administration or reactionary conservatism, but instead is Hasan Piker and others like him. It's the Twitter leftists that he thinks are the primary villains here.
He even twists Asmon's warning into, "He wants to have me killed." Pure delusion. Playing the victim is just easier than admitting fault. This is Hasan's favorite act. Make yourself the target so your crowd becomes your shield. They don't just watch him anymore. They defend him. They become his armor. That's not leadership. That's narcissism at its final stage. In the first video, we pulled off the mask. In this one, we saw the full picture. Narcissism, contradictions, and a toxic culture that keeps growing. The conclusion? Words matter. Rhetoric matters. Because every joke, every but, every cheap PR line adds fuel to the fire. I'm Snorf. I don't polish the shiny storefronts. I rip them open to show the rot inside. If you made it this far, drop a comment. Who's responsible? The platform, the streamer, or the audience? Because the truth is, it's all of us.